I love you, you love me. We're a happy family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too?
Go!
I love you, you love me. We're best friends like friends should be. With a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? Oh my.
Let me tell you, can I give you two guys a friendly piece of advice, okay? Don't ever go up to the drive-thru, okay? Always walk up to the counter. You know what? Okay. I'm gonna tell you. Okay. They fuck you at the drive-thru, okay? They fuck you at the drive-thru. They know you're gonna be miles away before you find out you got fucked, okay? They know you're not gonna turn around and go back. So they don't care. Who gets fucked? Oh, Leo gets. Okay, sure. I don't give a fuck. I'm not eating this tuna, okay?
Shut up!
Tirade from the one and only Cat McSnatch coming at ya.
Don't be a racist, don't be a fool. Everyone is different, everyone is cool.
Everyone is cool.
Don't generalize, don't believe the lies. Racism is hatred in disguise.
All right, we're going to wind it up here now. People are into it.
Just because you're Asian does not mean you are smart. Just because you're Brazilian don't mean you are a slut. Just because you're Jewish doesn't mean you're tight. Just because you're rich and fat does not mean you are white.
Why?
Don't be a dick, 'cause I know I'm a hypocrite. Racism is wrong unless you put it into a song. Just because you're Swedish does not mean you are fine. Just because you're American don't mean you own a gun. Just because you're Italian don't mean you can cook. Just because your skin is black don't mean you are a crook.
Now you're not a crook because of the color of your skin. Yeah.
Don't be a dick. Cause I know I'm a hypocrite. Racism is wrong unless you put it into a song.
We got to focus on the love and not the hate now.
If you don't like this tribe, don't be a stereotype. Ooh, screw you, hippie. Don't fret, I think this song makes me a hypocrite. So what? I got the microphone.
Give them the keys. It doesn't matter if you're color red, white, or blue. If you're fucking brown, green, or yellow. Just be you. Have a sense of humor, but never be complacent. Don't perpetuate the rumors. I'm doing to be a business.
If you're Indian, don't mean you drive a cab. If you're Lebanese, don't mean you like kebabs. Just because you're French, don't mean that you eat snails. But if you're Japanese, stop mattering the way. Don't be a dick, cause I know I'm a hypocrite. Racism is wrong unless you put it into a song.
All right, we're going to do it one more time for the people in the back.
Don't be a dick, cause I know I'm a hypocrite. Racism is wrong unless you put it into a song.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Catholic Snatch coming at you.
Live from the Raw Talk Studios in Southwest Florida, it's the Charles Richardson Show.
All right. And greetings, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Charles Richardson Show. Brought to you by W Energy Drink. W Energy Drink, you need that go ahead and exit out of that crash. Well, it's time to power over W Energy. W's packed with clean energy, laser sharp focus, great flavor, all without the sugar and junk that you find in ordinary energy drinks. Whether you're gaming, working, or hitting the gym, or just trying to make it through the day, Alyssa knows what I'm talking about. She needs some of that W. Head over to w.gg. Fuel your day the smarter way. And when you check out, make sure you go ahead and put in the promo code Richardson Show, and you can save yourself a sweet 10% off your entire order. Go to w.gg. No, not .com, .net like the normal people. W's fucked up. w.gg. And don't forget the promo code Richardson Show for 10% off. Stay energized, stay focused, stay W. And I want to welcome a few imposters to the show. Imposters I call friends. I'm going to say hello to Matt Carneden first. Hello, Matt.
Hello, Charles. Thank you for inviting me this evening.
Absolutely. Definitely a topic that we want to go ahead and discuss. And we couldn't discuss it without Big Bad Billy. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing well. Can you hear me okay?
A little bit quiet. I'm going to try to bump you up a little bit, but let's try it now. Test 1 2 1 2.
Test.
We're good to go there. We're good to go.
Yeah, doing great. I must say, and take a drink of these Crazy Joe tears.
And the only person in the show who probably does not want to talk about Crazy Joe, so we'll probably go radio silence. But I want to introduce my wife, Alyssa, over there, taking a sip of her Gatorade. She needs to get hydrated. You need some of that W, don't you, sweetie? Yeah. We got to try to turn on the mic now. Probably it's all nice, lovely colors, but
yeah, I heard about the purple mic.
Yeah, she had the purple mic and everything, and
purple mic.
Make sure it's not muted on the program, because remember, you can't.
It was muted.
There you go.
There we are.
We got it now. All right, we got it. We're good to go. All right. So first off, number one, let me go ahead and mention everybody that we're on. We're live right now on IPM Nation, as Matt's station over there, IPM Nation. We're also live here in Tampa on the irnbroadcast.com. Make sure you're irnbroadcast.com. We are live on the Up Yours Network. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is a thing. Over in the UK, apparently they share our Powerball and our values. The Up Yours Network. Make sure you go check it out over there. And we are live on Scotty Radio, Dare Talk Media, Dare Talk Radio. Make sure you go ahead and check it out over there.
Yes, General Scotty. Hello, General Scotty.
General Scotty is
he's our friend now.
He's our friend now, absolutely.
Hey, Charles.
Go ahead.
Real quick, yeah, if you don't mind, I'd like to plug something else too to go right along with what you were talking about there. Is anybody who knows me and follows the shows that I do, I have a lot of affiliates. But of course, a week ago, I came back from Las Vegas, and I'll just trying to make a long story short, I lived in Las Vegas for 5 years.
Okay.
And all 5 of those years, I worked outside, mostly at night. And even at night, in the summertime, it doesn't cool off very well. So I would often go home with headaches. And I had a lot of water to drink, mind you, but they were the start of dehydration. Now, this last time I was in Vegas, I was out with my family during the daytime, in the middle of the day in the sun, and it was about 112 degrees. It was not fun. But I wasn't getting these headaches like I used to when I lived there before. And that's because I take a substance called Cardio Miracle. And that's super for hydration, which you can find if you go to my website, thebeardedpatriots.com, and go to the affiliates page and click on Cardio Miracle. I know it's a bit expensive, but it tastes great and definitely great for bringing nitrous oxide to the heart and keeping you hydrated.
All right. Yeah, definitely take a look. So beardedpatriots.com, go to the affiliates. And what was it again? I'm going to write it down.
Cardio Miracle.
Cardio Miracle. Trust me, with the way my heart's been going, I probably need a cardio miracle as well. In another sense of the word.
I mean, it tastes kind of like fruit punch and a little vegetable mix with a hint of dirt, mind you. And don't think that is a bad thing, but you ever pulled a carrot out of the garden, washed off with a hose and eat it that way, and you still kind of got that dirt taste to it? That's what I'm talking about.
Gotcha. So it tastes like dirt, pretty much. Flavored fruit punch dirt.
Yeah.
That's how you sell it? Okay. All right.
It tastes like a freshly washed carrot plucked from the dirt.
Yes. Well, of course.
Listen, if you're El Naturo, might as well.
All right.
Might as well go ahead and do that. Gentlemen, let's go ahead and get to the meat and potatoes of today, because yesterday apparently was General Sky, plug your ears for this one, because this I'm not sure how well you're going to handle this, but yesterday was a Crazy Joe day. Apparently he went ahead and did he said he was going to do a 1-hour talk show or 1-hour call-in show.
Mm-hmm.
And the recording I received, I'm not sure if it was the beginning of the show there, Billy, but apparently you decided, hey, I need to go ahead and call my best friend, Crazy Joe. And apparently you didn't last very long.
He didn't even answer the phone. It went to voicemail.
Oh.
But, I didn't even listen to what he said afterwards, but I kind of got the hint that he was calling me a coward for hanging up before he could answer when it went to voicemail.
Yeah.
He did have some interesting words to say about your sister, apparently.
Yeah.
He was doing everything he could to get underneath your beard, skin. But yeah, definitely. I mean, it was bad.
Well, should we mention why? I feel like it's the elephant in the room. Should we mention why Mr. Jose Martinez is so particularly angry these days?
Well, wait a second. I'm going to play the good cop, bad cop thing. He's not mad. He's not angry. He's glad. He's
that's
happy.
true.
You haven't finished the job. He's still standing.
True.
Okay, standing where? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead. Why is he so quote unquote angry?
Well, it would seem that both you and I, Charles, and by the way, Charles, congratulations and welcome to Dare Media Group, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
because you can now hear my program, of course, Matt Connerton Unleashed, which is every Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern. You can also hear that on Radio X, which is one of the Dare Talk media stations. And of course, you, Charles, are now also part of the Dare Media Group family. And Crazy Joe is not. He has been banished. He is persona non grata. And Billy can maybe explain a little bit more about how that came to be. But yes, we have effectively replaced Crazy Joe on the talk radio powerhouse that is Dare Media Group in Australia, Down Under, which we are being heard on right now, of course.
Yeah. Right now it's 8 a.m. over there, so everybody's waking up with their cup of Joey, not Joe, Joey, cup of Joey. And the kangaroos hopping out in their backyard, and us on the radio.
And if they're wondering whatever happened to that Crazy Joe guy, he was pretty disturbing.
You mean the two people that maybe have listened to
him? Yes. So karma, my friends.
Billy, add on to it. What just history? A lot of people they probably haven't heard you on Dare. So this is the famous Billy Painter. He is the painter. He is the Bob Ross of our generation.
Just a little touch. I just got to say, Matt, it looks like you got that barely a shadow of a goatee now. You almost got that baby face going there.
He's going the reverse to what you're doing right now.
It's the lighting.
You're ZZ topping it. He's shaving it like if I was going to do it to piss off somebody.
Oh, I keep mine very trim. If it gets any longer than this, it starts to itch. Yeah.
So it was. I think it was just before I left for Vegas. Actually, that Joe was all over his YouTube and his Rumble. By the way, he says his Rumble is shut down, but yet it's still there with all the videos there. So I laugh at that. But he, where do we begin? Really, is there's some trolls out there, mind you. I mean, for the past few months, Joe has had before his YouTube was taken down, he had over 1,400 subscribers. That was no lie.
Yeah.
And what it was is he became the lol cow, and I learned a lol cow is a derogatory term for an idiot. Basically, you just get them mad, and milk them for laughs, and that's where it comes from. And of course, this transgender by the name of Themios discovered his channel and started tearing into him. Then somebody else from the UK who runs a stream called The Trough started tearing into him. So,
Billy, is that who Data Broker 666 is? Is that the same person?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know, honestly.
Okay.
But, and what Joe doesn't get is that on his old channel, you had to subscribe before you could comment. So you have one person with probably 20 accounts, and they get blocked, and then they make another account so they can get at him again. So that's why he's got so many subscribers. Unique subscribers was probably somewhere to 500.
Right.
Still not bad.
Yeah, it's still not bad. I'll give it
for a psychotic old guy who's losing his teeth bit by bit. Yeah.
By the way, I sound clear, right? I mean, I don't sound mush mouth, do I?
No. We can make out make out your English.
I got my partial dentures in, and I'm still getting used to them. So,
but it was certainly the most successful that Joe has ever been. At the moment that he lost that YouTube account, I mean, that was the most success he'd ever had with 1,400 subscribers. Even if, as you said, Billy, it was probably only 500 unique because a lot of them were people who just trolls who just kept creating new accounts as he would ban them. But I mean, as far as the traffic he was getting and whatnot, I mean, that was really the apex of his internet infamy, I would say.
Well, that's because he chose to be a fool. Right. Fame is not always a good thing. he's there acting like an idiot, and telling people he was banning people just for saying hello. I mean,
yeah, if he felt that you were even the slightest bit insincere, or that you might possibly be a troll, he would go ahead and ban you.
Yes. So that's where all that happened. Of course, bringing down his channel was reported. I don't know what it was for exactly. I think because I didn't hear any racial slurs or anything like that, but he did make a video saying, "I hope you die. I hope you die." That's against the YouTube's policies. I mean, saying whether it's "I'm going to kill you" or "I hope you die" is against YouTube's policy. So he got suspended for that.
Yeah.
So I didn't hear him say that afterwards, but he ended up losing his channel for I don't know what violation it was, unless somebody else reported something else we may have caught from the past or something. So, of course, he's
wait. So wait a second. I want to make sure I get clarity. Neither Bad Billy nor Matt Connerton pulled the plug on the YouTube channel.
Wasn't me.
You reported it?
No. I didn't catch anything that was worth reporting.
I didn't.
Okay.
Bother.
Even when he wished death on me, I didn't report that. But I think Eric might have, because Eric's kind of the protective type who's going to he's going to stand up for a friend, and I think he may have reported him for that. But I mean, the only time I would have reported is if I'd have heard the N-word or something along those lines, but not. But not. I wasn't going to report him for any of that. And of course, his YouTube channel went down, and he's blaming that on me.
Yeah.
But when I hear a lot of people, and I really don't want to get political, but you hear them say, people on the right say that the left can't take accountability. Well, it's true for any extremist, left or right, as you learned with Crazy Joe. He does, just like far left extremists, he doesn't take accountability for what he does. He has to blame somebody else. So he chose to dox me, even though that was not me who doxed him. Somebody doxed him, and it wasn't me. And
he blames you for it.
Yeah. So somebody going under the code name of Gary Coleman. What you talk about, Willis? I don't.
He's convinced. He still insists to this day, Billy, that that's you, and I don't know why he's so sure that that's you, but he still says it, even in his recent videos, for some reason.
So what he's saying now is, so he went out here on, of course, those of you listening in Australia probably heard the broadcast, but he doxed me live on the air.
Yep.
Gave out by the way, I had my name legally changed a long time ago, but gave out what my name used to be.
Yeah.
And my current address.
Yep.
And oh boy. So,
that's a no-no.
Yep.
Yeah. Listen, if you go ahead and say, "Oh, somebody doxed me," I mean, the only logical thing is to go ahead and dox the person back. One illegal thing for another illegal thing. That makes perfect sense in the eyes of Crazy Joe. Makes perfect sense. I'm just going to go ahead and do the same illegal thing to you because you did something illegal to me. Not go to the authorities. No, because apparently New York don't know how to dial 911 or the cops. The New York people don't do that. They just go after the person the same way they came after them.
Even though Joe is always threatening to he's always threatening to call the FBI and call the New York State Police. I had to answer a call from the New York State Police once years ago because he complained to the New York State Police about me, and they have to follow up on it, even though the trooper who called me knew it was, ridiculous. But
it's like this idiot here.
Oh, I should mention too, just quickly, if you want to hear the audio of the incident, I edited it, of course. I took out the both the name and the address and everything, Billy. I took all that out. I bleeped it out. Yeah. But if you want to hear the audio, it is up on the IPM Nation YouTube channel of the incident where Joe, right here on Dare Media Network, publicly doxed Billy.
Well, so the thing is, getting back to the accountability thing, is JoJo's problem there is he doesn't want to take any responsibility for what he did. He says it's my fault. So therefore he is saying that it's my fault that he lost his temper and doxed me.
Absolutely.
Well, he's a classic narcissist. Nothing is ever his fault.
And that's
ever.
Whether you're left or right, extremists do the same shit. Don't know anything about accountability and are complete narcissists.
You know, I got to ask you a question. Is there anywhere, any possibility in your world of hypnotherapy that we could hypnotize Joe as a chicken and make him cross the road in middle of like Manhattan traffic?
Yeah, I can't make him do anything against his will, unfortunately. Although that would be quite entertaining.
He'll probably think he laid an egg.
Yeah, all we can really do is continue to infuriate him. You know, I always say success is the best revenge, and I think we're all having a lot of success, and that's the best revenge.
I like how he goes ahead and brings like, my enemies did me a favor by kicking me off Dare. Really? Oh, and I have no problem. I had a great boss. Now all of a sudden he's calling Scotty a Bushman. The Bush Billy Scotty or whatever. It's like now all of a sudden he has this unfounded hatred for him. Like, we all could have seen that coming.
But that's what happens with everybody. I mean, I remember when, it's been 6 years now. Yep. 6 years ago when he first started calling my show, the dude was in love with me. And then, of course, one misunderstanding, and then he hates me. And that night he's making video after video talking about what a scumbag and a POS I am. I mean, that's what he does to everybody. He drives everyone away. And again, it's classic narcissism. There's another person in my life who I had a conflict with not long ago, who is the same way. A show that I used to be on, who does the same thing, drives everyone away, but it's never his fault. But that's, again, it's just Joe is a classic narcissist, probably an extreme of that. And I think he also, again, I'm not qualified to diagnose him, and certainly no one is qualified to do so from a distance, but I would suggest also classic megalomania with him, delusions of grandeur and all of that, thinks he's going to be the next Howard Stern. Dude is 70 years old talking about how he's going to be famous on the next Howard Stern. There's a lot wrong with him, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I like it too. On one of his videos, his most recent video, actually, I was listening to it. He says he's applying for Sirius XM.
Yeah.
Number one, I would be a better choice for Sirius XM now, let alone Matt and Billy.
Yeah.
Number two, there is a guy that I know, Uncle Eddie, who does the ham radio show on Facebook and is probably doing it live right now because he does it every Wednesday from 6 to 9. Mm-hmm. He works at Sirius XM. Mind you, he works at the goddamn company. Mm-hmm. He wants to have his show on Sirius XM and is not able to do it.
Right.
He works for the goddamn company and has a show that's a hell of more entertaining than anything Joe could spit out of his ass. And you mean to tell me he can't make it to Sirius XM? You think your sorry, toothless ass is going to make it to Sirius XM?
Right.
By the way, Charles, I sent you a couple of YouTube links to your Facebook.
Yes, I did have it.
I took to Suno a few months ago, and first I took to Grok and told him about Crazy Joe, and I said write a song about him, and I put it into Suno, and it came out with a couple of good songs.
Which one was it? The Idiot or the Fall?
Both of them were written by Grok and then produced by Suno.
Okay, you mind if we have a listen?
Go ahead. I think the Idiot's probably the better one.
All right, so we'll save that for last. Let's go with the Fall.
All right.
Let me pull that one up. And
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, Crazy Joe, you're a joke, man. Let's go from NYC to the sticks. Your ego's out of control. Think you're a god, but you're broke, no dough. Wasted your cash, now you're stuck in the cold. You had that inheritance, thought you were balling. Bought a big house, now the lawsuits are calling. Upstate your prison, can't afford the city. Talking big shit, but your life's looking shitty. You hate on the world, spew racist disgrace. Calling out colors with that dumbass face. disgrace. Chocolado trash, yeah, you're hateful and lame. Anti-Semitic garbage, you're a stain on the game. You're no savior, Joe. You're a clown in a cage. Rock and roll's fine. You're just fuel for the rage. Crazy Joe, you're a fucking disgrace. Talking big shit, but you're lost in the race. 300 faces laugh at your pain. You're a YouTube Joe bastard, stuck in the rain.
You know, I like this. This sounds like a lot like Motorhead. I'm thinking Triple H song here and everything like that. Is
You think it sounds like Motorhead?
A little bit like it. I think so. But anyway,
I have to disagree on that. I don't think it sounds anything like Motorhead.
Acting like a prick, and word lover, you scream. Then they pulled the plug, crying about your rights. Joe, you're just a thug. First Amendment, nah, you broke the damn rules. Now you're whining online like a desperate fool. Think you're a star, but your shine's looking dim. Rock's alive, Joe, it don't need your hymn. You're no savior, Joe. You're a clown in a cage. Rock and roll's fine. You're just fuel for the rage. Crazy Joe, you're a fucking disgrace. Talking big shit, but you're lost in the race. 300 slow.
I like the hook. I really like the hook on this one.
They just laugh at your pain. You're a YouTube Joe bastard, stuck in the race. You're a fucking disgrace. Talking big shit, but you're lost in the race. 300 subs. They just laugh at your pain. You're a YouTube Joe bastard, stuck in the rain. Yo, Joe, what's with that nipple play flex? Call me gay, then you're shirtless, what's next? Manly tits for me, man, you're losing.
I'll tell you about that one a bit. I'll tell you why those lyrics are there.
That's fucking great, man.
You grip your whole damn vibes like a sinking ship, hating on rap, saying it's all a disgrace. But your rock revival's a slap in the face. You're no messiah, just a loudmouth who's done. Your channel's a circus, and you're the dumb one. Crazy Joe, you're a fucking disgrace. Talking big shit, but you're lost in the race. 300 subs, they just laugh at your pain. You're a YouTube Joe bastard, stuck in the rain. Crazy Joe, keep dreaming, you're never a star. Your ego's too big, but your talent's apart. From New York to nowhere, you're wasting away. The songs you wrote, Joe, now fade away. Now fade away.
All right. Okay, not Motorhead because obviously it's not as metal, but it sounds like something from WWE.
Well, really, I had to make it a rap song because we know how much he appreciates rap music.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, he loves it.
But to be clear, Lemmy from Motorhead never, ever, ever in his life rapped.
No, that was more. Yeah, that was more new metal.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I'm out of touch with the bands. All right. Here's the idiot.
Yeah! Crazy Joe, step up to the mic, you clown. Time to tear your bullshit crown right down. Yeah, you strut like a king cause you're from New York City. Acting all superior, but it ain't that pretty. Newsflash bastard, nobody gives a shit. Being born in the apple don't make you the shit. You ain't God, Joe, you're just a loudmouth prick. Upstate exile cause the Big Apple kicked your dick. Wasted your money, lawsuits ate the rest. Now you whine online like a bitch with no chest. You hate on the world, racist trash you spew. Anti-Semitic garbage, yeah, we all see through you. You're an idiot. Like Dr. House always said, you're an idiot. Get it through your head. You're an idiot. Farting on the air like a fool. You're an idiot. And everybody knows the truth. Hold on, got a fart. Yeah, you say that crap. Then brag it smells like fresh roasted peanuts. What the fuck is that? Only immature kids might laugh at your gas. The rest of us grown-ups just think you're a dumbass. 300 subs to tuning in to mock. Your channel's a circus, Joe, you're the laughing stock. Call me gay, then played with your nipples on screen. Manly tits waiting, man, that shit's obscene. Live 365, band, you cried about your rights. Now you're headed down under for an Aussie flop tonight. You're an idiot. Like Dr. House always says, idiot. Get it through your head. Dr. House always said, you're an idiot. Everybody knows you're an idiot. Far boy from New York City, you're an idiot. And it ain't even a pity. Fuck your ego, fuck your hate, fuck your peanut smelling face. You're an idiot. 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 Rock and roll don't need you, bastard.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. All right. Very nice. And that's all done by AI and Suno.
Yes.
Damn.
Now you were getting quite a crack at the when they were mentioning nipple play. You know the story behind that, don't you?
No, I don't. Go ahead and enlighten us.
Okay. So a few years ago, Joe did one of his videos talking shit to me, and he was shirtless. And so I replied by telling him, "Oh God, put it on." Then he follows up with another video, says, "Oh, does it turn you off?" And he's calling me gay, calling me, the other F word.
Mm.
And he takes off his shirt and he starts tweaking his nipples. And he says, "Come on, come and get some of this." And the whole time he's calling me, calling me gay, basically. But he's doing that. And then he said, "These manly tits are waiting for you, Billy." I'm like, oh my God.
Disgusting.
If that doesn't get you on a plane to New York, nothing will.
I know, right? I mean, I think that's the only thing he was trying to do, is trying to coax you into going over there.
I mean,
Oh
my
my God.
you call me gay and then you do that to just make it make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't, and half the stuff he says doesn't make sense anyway.
Well,
it really does. I'm going to go ahead and be so popular, but I'm not going to advertise why I'm on the air.
Oh, that's a running thing. Yeah, he's going to land himself another big gig on a big station, but he's not going to tell anybody what it is so that we can't find him. We always find him.
Yeah.
Well, how many times has he told you two guys how handsome you are?
Oh
yeah.
And then he told Scotty, and too bad this video got taken down, or the piece. He said, and I quote, "I can't wait to meet you in person, give you a big hug, and squeeze your muscles."
Yep.
Yeah.
There's honestly something seriously wrong with him. Matt, you should get a free hypno session with him.
I don't know what's wrong with his insides as much as he farts.
Yeah.
I don't understand that either. I think it's some old man thing. And by the way, he can't be living in that great of conditions where you have Scotch tape on his walls. What the hell is that? The electrical Scotch
Does
tape?
he? I never.
There's like
never
red
noticed that.
tape on his corner of his wall. I think it's trying to hold the place together. I don't know.
Well,
I can think of.
I don't know what kind of conditions he's living now, but I'm going to tell you I should tell you the material that I do have that I have not released yet, because I'm just still trying to get all the facts together and get all my I's dotted and T's crossed before I release this information. But I will say I've been given documents of transactions and lawsuits. So when Joe's mother passed away, he inherited a lot of money, and we're close to somewhere to $1 million.
Wow.
He inherited a lot of money.
And you just squandered all of it?
Well, he bought a house in New York City, and then he got sued over something. He had to sell that house. He lost all that money. He couldn't afford to live in New York City and moved upstate.
Oh, wow.
And he spent a lot of money too, presumably on all that useless equipment that he has, because there's many videos of him showing off all this equipment from, I guess, his CB radio days.
Shit.
It's what?
It's old as shit.
Yeah. Now, if he were to split some of that up and try to sell it on eBay, he could get, because some of that stuff I'm sure is rare, hard to find. There are people who will buy that stuff, but he talks about it like it's a part of his radio studio for his show. And he shows us all this crap, and it looks like a flea market, and he expects us to be impressed with, this is Studio A, over here is Studio B, and it's just a different pile of shit. It's bizarre.
Here, look, this is my studio right here. That's it. That's all I use. That's it. And I got my 3 monitors here. That's all I use. That's it. I can make a better fucking show with just that.
Yeah.
And all this other shit, reel-to-reel things and stuff like that. That's obsolete. Get out of here.
You said that, Charles. I'm so glad you said that, because when the hell does a tape deck cost $600?
Well, it's a relic now. It's one of those things you bury in the sand for 1,000 years and it becomes money. It becomes worth money then.
8 tracks, but it ain't no $600. 8-track players aren't even that much.
Somebody maybe you like $5. I mean, honestly, he can't sell any of that stuff for any amount of decent money. None.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I bet he's got some stuff in there that is worth money. I bet some of that's hard to find stuff that is worth money.
I would assume maybe.
I have something else for you too that you're going to find interesting. So you hear him bragging that he's the king on CB radio.
Mm-hmm.
My co-host on Patriot Confederation, John Grosvenor, is a truck driver, and you guys have both talked with John. You've both been on that show.
Yep.
And so John has pretty much drove all over the East Coast, and he said quite often, this was probably back in the 90s, once he started going into the New York metropolitan area, there was somebody on the radio acting loud and obnoxious and disrupting communications, and that person ended up getting in trouble because it was violating the FCC, and that's still a violation to this day. Truck drivers need to communicate with each other, because even today, because not all of them have each other's cell phone numbers, so they got they have to those CB channels,
right?
And Joe's on there being loud and obnoxious, and if truck drivers need to know a route to go to avoid a car accident or something like that, they need that communication, and he was disrupting that. That's what he's proud of, breaking the law.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he's been proud of getting fired from every internet radio station ever. I'm sure he's been proud of that.
Oh yeah, and General Scotty's cheap, doesn't pay his DJs, but last I checked,
does he pay me? Does he? Does he pay you, Scott? Matt, does he pay you?
I haven't received a deposit.
I haven't either.
Well, those of us that get into internet radio, we don't do it for the pay to begin with, and we know from the get-go we're not going to get paid.
What are you talking about? I've been putting into the work. I'm going to expect to get paid millions and millions of dollars.
Well, I mean, like you and I both have affiliates, based on our sales, we'll get paid off of that.
Oh yeah. Well,
I did get a payment. And this is, by the way, this is 100% true. This is not a joke. I got a payment from Meta today that went right in my bank account for $5.27.
Wow. Now we're talking right there.
And that is a fact. That's a fact, Jack.
When we were kids and $5 was a fortune. At least us Gen X kids would know that.
Sure.
Would know that.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And actual cash, and not crypto or
crypto crap.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, we wanted to go ahead and share that crazy Joe, because apparently he did try to do a call-in show. Apparently it wasn't that great. He hyped it up as best he could, and we wanted to get Billy and Matt on here to go ahead and rattle, especially Billy, because Billy was the target, unfortunately, of the whole rant that cost crazy Joe his dare time. His Radio X time over there in Australia.
Billy is definitely Joe's number one target. I'm probably number two now because I think Eric was number two for a while. I think I've moved up to number two because I was the first to replace Crazy Joe on Radio X. And, Joe is quite bitter.
I still have him. He always talks about Eric first. The guy with the cock in his mouth. That's not you. That's got to be Eric, as far as I know.
Well, you're correct, but why do you say that's got to be Eric?
I'm just saying it's like I can't imagine that.
No offense, Eric.
That's not Billy. He always calls you Ratso Fatso.
He does, yeah.
And then Eric is like the other one, and then the Donkey Boy is
Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, Donkey Boy is also Eric.
Yeah, Brokeback Mountain. I'm sorry. Yeah, that too. I forgot about that.
I'm Ratso Fatso or Matt Covington or Matt Connington or what else? I don't know.
And he just says the worst shit about Jenny. Which
we're not
he has beat on that.
We won't repeat that.
No.
Definitely
not.
Oh, actually, though, can I tell you one funny thing?
Yes.
He does like this is something we can say. He does like, because Jenny and I were talking about this just the other day. He likes to refer to Jenny as Judge Judy, a Judge Judy wannabe, because he thinks Jenny used to be a judge or is a judge. But I know why. It's because there's a picture of Jenny is a justice of the peace. So there's a picture of Jenny online in her
judge shoot.
Yeah, so Joe must have seen that picture, and so Joe has it in his mind that Jenny is a judge or used to be a judge, which is funny.
Yeah. Well, I've seen honorable Jen, and that's
right.
Probably
that does kind of scream judge, to be honest with you. But
the honorable part is because Jenny used to be a state legislator here in New Hampshire. And once you've served in the legislature, you become honorable. That becomes part of your title. And then you carry that even when you're not in the legislature anymore. Obviously, you carry that for forever. So, that's why Jenny assumed that Joe thought that. I still think the main reason is, though, because of that picture of her in her robe. She does look like a judge in the picture. So it's kind of funny.
And speaking of Jens, for the past almost I'd say 3/4 of a year, this woman named Jen on YouTube, who's actually been very cordial with him and never said anything about the rest of us. And I think generally tried to be his friend. He just last night totally turned against.
He turns against everyone eventually. Yeah, he chases everyone off.
Well,
it's really awful because somebody that needs friends right now, even if he gets one, he's just like, well, I don't trust you. But because I get, listen, and this is one part where I will go ahead and see from his point of view. But he's also to blame for that reason. But he goes ahead and has so many haters that he doesn't know who to trust, who to go ahead and confide in. But he's the one that he played that hand. That's his bed that he made.
Well, for a while, his best friend was Mr. D, this Mr. D character. And then Mr. D shows up in the Tough Bumps chat room one day, and we made friends with Mr. D. So we took Mr. D away from him, and now Mr. D's our friend.
I guess that officially ends the Masters of Disaster.
I guess so. Yes, that's right. His little group there. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Billy.
Oh God.
So we're a gang, and not only that too is he went to my website for the Bearded Patriots, and of course he tried to say that Colonel Chris Wyatt never served in the military just because Colonel's got a long beard. Like Colonel was forced to retire. He went road, retired on active duty. He after 30 plus years in the Army.
Yeah.
So, so there's that, even though his military credentials can be found with a simple search. And then, of course, he called Jericho Green and the typical chocolato or whatever because he's black.
Yeah.
And Yeah, he said, this is all a big gang of thugs. It's like they're all activists and people running for office. A couple of them are musicians. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, dude.
I think he claimed that my father never served in the military.
And as a con.
And
as
so
a
what?
communist.
So what? So what? I mean, Joe, you can, sticks and stones, bro. Sticks and stones. I gotta catch up with some of the chats here. Jake, hello to Jake over there. Chad Upchurch over also saying hello. Parks was saying hello to Alyssa, who's taking a little bit of a break until after we're done with the Crazy Joe thing. And of course, General Scotty has made an appearance. He says, "Good morning, all."
A salute to him.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do we have any more that we want to go ahead into the Crazy Joe segment before we go ahead and just pretty much close the door on Joe?
Because I got dinner cooking. I'm going to go get that. But I think I've spilled the beans on everything that needs to be said. And if Joe's watching this, I know he's going to tear what little hair he has out, probably shit his pants, and and then next we'll hear all about it on YouTube.
Yeah, excuse me, I got a fart.
Fresh roasted peanuts. That's what he likes to say.
I do have a cartoon of that, by the way. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I'll try to recover that really quick here because I know exactly where it is. I haven't used Restream very much.
Oops.
But I think I can share my screen on here if I can find the picture.
Yeah, go ahead. If you can, I'll go ahead and let it through.
I know who I sent it to, and I just got to get it. Just got to search it. I'll actually forward it to you, Charles, here in just a moment.
Okay.
I'm just going through the picture messages that I sent somebody. And
so you saying it was a cartoon about Joe, or a cartoon about something Joe did?
It's a no. I put it into AI and programmed in the commands is what I did.
Got that AI thing going, man. I'm telling you, it's starting to become scary. It really is. This AI is starting to become scary.
That's another conversation for another time. But you're okay. I'm going to forward this one to you. I'm going because you're going to get a laugh out of it.
Okay.
That's one. This one I use for a thumbnail on a video, so that's why. But it's just so hilarious. Oh yeah, when I was in Las Vegas,
God,
when I was in Las Vegas, I stood right under the New York casino, and I'm flipping the finger. I had.
God, that's funny.
Yeah.
Here. I'm going to share it. That's.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. And then another one.
Oh, that I sent you a long time ago.
Yeah, what was that? There we go.
Vegas, yeah. I'm still looking for the very one though. Every time I see these goofy ones, I gotta send them to you. Oh yeah,
and definitely appreciate them.
There it is. Here we go.
Oh,
here it is. This is the cartoon. All right, there you go. Let's see.
Fresh roasted peanuts. God.
No. Yeah.
But I think the one before that you might want to see too. So there you go.
Different faces of Joe.
That's a lot of Joes.
That's too many Joes.
Wow.
Oh my God.
All righty.
All right. Less is more.
Yeah.
Bill, we want to thank you very much again. Why don't you go ahead and plug your site, plug your drink and everything like that?
Oh, again, yeah, my site, thebeardedpatriots.com. And I have all kinds of, awesome affiliates. But as far as staying hydrated and, consuming something healthy, the Cardio Miracle is definitely a way to go.
Definitely appreciate you, Billy. Thank you very much for coming on and spilling the Joe beans.
Good to see you,
Yep.
Billy.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
All right, Bad Billy off into the sunset, doing non-Brokeback Mountain things, mind you.
Presumably, yeah.
No, not presumably. Well, Matt, now we got you alone. Obviously, we're now since we're both part of Dare,
Mhm.
and I mentioned what happened to me on my wrestling show, and I know you probably want to go ahead and let your cat out of the bag as well. That
Okay.
you were part of this one show for a long ass time, a lot longer than I was part of this wrestling show.
Yeah.
And just the backstory on what happened with you and a so-called best friend that just turned ugly, and for what I understand, over the flip of a coin.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very, very strange. Well, of course, you're referring to my falling out at Retro Spectrum Radio, the show that I used to do on Friday nights on WMNH, and I've never talked about it on my show because I'll never because Retro Spectrum Radio is Friday nights, and then my show, Matt Connerton Unleashed, is Saturday morning, and I've never talked about it on my show, and I never will, because as long as Paul and I have shows on the same station, when I talked about it, I mean, I did address it the next morning on my show. I took the high road, and I just said, my time on Retro Spectrum Radio has ended, and I wish everyone well, and it was a great ride, and 16 years, I was there from the beginning, and all that. But I tried to keep it very positive, and I'll never say anything bad about it while I'm on WMNH, while I'm actually on the air there, because again, Paul and I are both still there. So, we're both playing on that team. We're both wearing that jersey, so to speak, to use a sports metaphor, which is always awkward because I'm not a sports guy. But, so I would never, because people asked me about it afterward, and people were asking me, well, are you going to talk about it on your show? And I was like, well, I'll talk about it. I might talk about it on somebody else's show, but I'll never talk about it on WMNH. I'll only say positive things on WMNH, because he and I, we never see each other. Our paths don't cross anymore, but he and I are technically still colleagues,
right,
at the station. So while I'm there, I'll never say anything on the air, but but I have no problem talking about it outside of there. So, but
well, let's hear all the dirty details on it, since this is a forum for you to go ahead and dive into that.
So essentially what happened, the reason my run on there ended, and I'm going to be very careful to, since I am going to talk about it. Actually, this will be my first time talking about it publicly. But again, I haven't really had an opportunity to, outside of my own show. And like I said, I won't do it on my own show.
Understood.
I'm going to be very careful, though, to only tell you the facts. In other words, I'm not going to try to add my own commentary into it or anything, or say anything insulting about anybody. I'll just tell you what happened, a fact-based account. That way nobody can say, oh, Matt said this and he shouldn't have said this, or this was out of line. I'm just going to tell you the facts of what happened, objectively what happened. Okay. So my last night on the show, Friday nights, I would always get there early. I was always the first one there. And part of the reason for that was I like to get there before anyone else, so I could do last minute prep for my show Saturday morning. So all the music I was going to play, any new bumpers or liners I wanted to use, anything at all, any audio that I was going to play on my show Saturday morning, I wanted to make sure was loaded into the computer and ready to go for Saturday morning. So I would get there early. I would get all the pre-production taken care of, and then I'm good. And then I would, and I'd always have my computer with me so I can get some work done while I wait for Paul and whomever else is going to be on the show with us that night to show up. And that particular night, so, seemed like a pretty normal night. And I had let in, I think the other two guys that were in the room that night were already there. And Paul gets there, or one of the two guys was already there. Paul gets there, and right from the get-go, he was acting strange. wasn't talking, wasn't saying much. It was like, I greeted him when he walked in. He said hello, but he was being very, very quiet. And, it's not unusual for him to come in grumpy, but because he's a grumpy guy. Again, I'm just speaking objectively. That's just a fact. Anyone who knows him will tell you that.
Right.
But he was being,
that's nothing negative. It's just like, hey, listen, you have your off days. You're gonna come in with either a chip on your shoulder or something personal probably happened that you're not too happy about. So yeah, you're not gonna come in the best of mood sometimes.
Right. And as a friend, I would always ask him, if he came in and he was upset, or I said, "Hey, Paul, how's it going?" And he said, "Oh, I had a terrible day." As a friend, I would ask, because I'm an empathetic person. I would ask him, "Oh, what happened? What's wrong? Do you want to talk about it?" And he often would. He would often confide in me, because I thought he and I were good friends. I always considered him a really good friend, but this particular night, he was being very quiet. He was acting strangely. Yes or no answers to things. He just really seemed in his own head. And then, so the show starts, and I don't know if you've ever listened to Paul's show, but there's usually a segment of a couple of songs at the beginning of the show and maybe a comedy bit. And then you hear the intro music, and then he, brings up the mics and we start the show.
Something similar to what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. So we get a couple of minutes into that part, and I don't know, I made a joke he didn't like or something. And all of a sudden he just stops and he says, "That's it for the show. Good night, everybody." And he pulls down all the faders on the board, and he flips the feed over to the replay of last week's show. So we're not live anymore. All of a sudden the replay is on from the previous week. And he goes, "I'm sorry I wasted everyone's time tonight." And he starts packing up his stuff. He's putting away his laptop. And so me and the other two guys who were in the room, we're just kind of sitting there like, so I spoke up and I said, "What's happening right now? I don't understand." And that's when he flipped out at me and he starts yelling at me. He goes, "You're being a fucking tool, and your joke is stupid and you're ruining the show." And he just unloaded on me. And he's just yelling at me.
Do you remember what the joke was?
The joke was something silly about, and I wish I had the audio to refer to, but I don't, because he erased it.
Yeah.
But the joke, if I remember correctly, was something like, because he had this dumb bit that he does every week about how, because on Retrospectrum Radio, we're going back in time. So we're going to jump into the DeLorean and we're going to go back in time. And he said something about we're going to run and jump into the DeLorean. And I just made some silly joke, very typical of me. I just said something like, well, I think maybe we should step instead of running and jumping into the DeLorean, maybe we should step into it carefully, because there's a lot of very sensitive electronics in there. We don't want anything to go wrong. And that pissed him off.
Seriously? Wow.
I'm serious. That was the moment. And he pulls down all the faders and he just starts yelling at me. And in 16 years of working with him,
16. Even longer than I thought it was. 16.
Now, I should say not 16 years consecutively. There were gaps where he didn't do the show. But
still, that's a long ass time.
Yeah. He'd never, I was shocked. So he just unloaded on me. And I did, and I did do something uncharacteristic of me. I actually started yelling back at him because there was one particular thing he said to me that really got under my skin. It's very unusual for me to yell. Like, for me to actually raise my voice at another human being is very, very rare.
Right.
But I did. And I will not. And that's the one thing I will not reveal. I will not reveal what he said to me for a couple of different reasons that really pissed me off. But it did piss me off. So I started yelling back at him. Also, too, you don't get to just stand there and yell at me and me not react. I mean, I'm not a bitch. I'm not just going to take that. So I did yell back at him. And I kind of mocked him too. And this might be the one thing that I do regret a little bit, is because there had been a previous incident where he was kind of mean to me on the air, where he said some mean things about my show that I actually enjoyed. I thought it was an interesting segment, and I just give it right back to him when he did that. So I didn't even take any of it personally, but he was worried that he had hurt me, and he called me that Sunday crying. He called me to apologize. So I mocked him because I was so angry with him and how he was treating me. And by the way, this is in front of other people too. This isn't even in private, just him and me.
This is like a couple of co-hosts, right?
This is in front of yes, other people who are there. And we're in a professional environment. We're in a radio station. This isn't an argument happening at the bar. We're in a professional environment, and this is how he's treating me. And so I, as I was walking out the door, I go, "Oh, by the way, are you going to call me Sunday crying because you're sorry about how you treated me tonight?" I did say that to him, but he had that coming. I mean, he just unloaded on, and he said weird things to me that didn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Like at one point he told me, "You know what, Matt, you need to get a job. You need it. It's time you just got a fucking job." He said something like that. It's like, dude, I have multiple, like, I'm like the busiest person I know. What are you talking about? But it's just, that didn't even make any sense. And I almost wondered if he was having a psychotic break in that moment, because what he was saying to me wasn't even making sense. It's like, what are you even talking about? Anyway,
start talking in tongues or something.
No. But yeah, so I left, and that was it.
Ever since that day, that night, for that matter, has he or you even spoken a word to each other?
No, but I'm going to reveal to you something, Charles. I'm going to reveal to you something that no one else knows.
Ooh.
Unless he's told anyone, because the only person who would know is him. I haven't told anyone this. I did, after a few weeks had gone by, after 2 or 3 weeks maybe had gone by, I did send him an email. And I basically just said in the email, I really regret the way things ended. I don't ever want to come back to the show. I don't want anything to do with the show, but I do think it's really shitty that 16 years of friendship just goes up in flames in a matter of seconds over a joke that you didn't like. And, but I also, in the email, I said, I don't regret yelling back at you, because I'm going to defend myself. And I don't like the way that you treated me. And this is in no way an apology for anything, but, I do think it would be good if at some point someday, maybe we can find our way to at least talking, because I considered you a very close friend. And, I don't have a lot of close friends, Charles. I've always kept a very tight inner circle. I have almost no social life to speak of, not because I try to isolate myself or anything. It's just I'm a natural introvert. So, I'm not someone who, you're not going to see me at the bar having some drinks, hanging out with some buddies. It's just not me. But I considered him a very close friend. And I thought he felt that way about me, because that dude has confided a lot, way more than I've ever confided in him, because I don't really confide much in people. But he has confided a lot in me over the years.
Yeah. Did he ever reply back to the email?
No. Did not. Not a peep.
There's a couple of comments in there from Parks. Says, I love how people overreact to an off-the-cuff comment. In other words, their understanding of what was said was scared by the image of self-worth in their own heads. There was a question here. Was there a previous incident involving delicate electronics harboring blah, blah, blah? Was there anything that may have triggered it?
No. I don't know. I do know that I can't tell you that there's been a pattern over the years of other people being chased off.
I'm sure not somebody that's been around for 16 years.
No, I never thought it would be me. He finally got to me. It was finally my turn, I guess. So
you were trying to take over the limelight, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know if it's there was something, and by the way, this is on YouTube. I did post this on YouTube. There is something from back in January that I put on YouTube on the IPM Nation channel titled "The Beginning of the End," Paul versus Matt, and it's actually the segment where about which he called me in tears to apologize, and it's him being kind of mean to me and saying insulting things to me about my show.
What did you have against your show? I mean, was this the weekly one or the one that was on the Saturday now?
Saturday mornings. Yeah.
So he had a problem with your show or had issues with your show of interviewing musicians.
Yeah,
and leaders of Manchester.
He was saying my show was weak and I should just end it and all this. But the thing is, and people have a hard time understanding this because other people who heard it were upset on my behalf. Like, well, Paul was really mean to you. And I was just like, well, actually, I thought it was a fun segment because when Paul would get like that with me, I would always just kind of give it back to him and sort of laugh in his face, which I thought was fun. I would never let him get under my skin ever.
Right.
So I was, so I thought it was an interesting segment and I thought it was compelling radio, and conflict often makes for compelling radio. So I actually had no problem with it.
Which is why you've spent all that time engaging with Crazy Joe, because that you thought was compelling radio.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So, I didn't have a problem with it. I wish that, the final meltdown, I wish that had happened on the air. If that had happened on the air, I would have been in my glory. That would have been great radio, but it didn't.
Yeah, that would have been like the news or something like that. Flame out in Manchester.
Yeah.
That would have been great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have loved to hear. I would have just loved to hear the whole rant between you and him back and forth.
Right.
I'm sure the two other co-hosts were just popping popcorn, like sitting back, watching, eating popcorn.
Yeah. Well, those two guys, I won't say they're
next.
I won't say they're, well, yeah.
You don't have to say the names. I'm just saying.
Everyone, everyone gets chased off there eventually.
Except the man behind the board.
The only thing is, I mean, the thing that was very clarifying about it for me, though, is I realized that those guys are not my friends either. And I'm not mad at them. I don't even resent them for continuing to do the show. I do not. And anyone who, and there's other people too who continue to do the show who are not there that night. But the thing that I realized about them is, if let me put it this way, if you were in that room when this was happening and I was being treated that way, if you were in that room and you can witness me being treated the way that I was being treated, and you can still come back the next week, because I did tune in to next week's show. If you can just come back next week and be backslapping and yucking it up with the person who treated me that way, in other words, you're completely fine with it. You have no problem with it. You've offered your tacit approval for the way that I was treated. Then you're not my friend. So I'm not mad at those guys. Obviously, they like doing the show. Good for them. But I do understand now they're not my friends. They're acquaintances. They're people I know, but they're not my friends.
The people that do that show, do they have anything to gain by doing it besides just being on the radio?
Yes. Okay. One of them is a singer-songwriter from the area who started doing the show and then also started playing a lot of gigs. And I think for that individual, the show is a vehicle for him to help promote his music career. So he's getting something out of it. Okay. Very, very nice person. Someone I considered a friend. I now realize he's not my friend, and that's perfectly fine. He's an acquaintance. He's a guy I used to do a radio show with, and that's fine.
But do you only consider that person not a friend because they continue to do the show?
Well,
even though it is a beneficial for them to, it's like It's almost like, listen, I can't put business in front of friendship or friendship in front of business. This is business. I'm here for business purposes. I may not like the host, or I may not have any nice things to say, or I definitely probably don't condone what he did,
Right.
but this benefits me as a business.
I totally get that. And I agree. And if it is benefiting him, which I believe it is, then he should continue to do the show.
But why would you say that he's not a friend? Because he's not standing up for you because he's afraid that it's going to endanger that benefit of it.
Right. Here's the thing. If you could be in that room and watch what happened and still show up every week and be completely fine with it and actually approve of and tacitly endorse it. Because here's the thing. The two guys who were in that room, neither of them ever even spoke a word to Paul. I know this for a fact. Neither of them ever even bothered to say to Paul at any point, Paul, we love you. We love doing the show. The way you treated Matt, that was a little fucked up, but neither of them ever did that. You know how I know that? Because if they did, they wouldn't still be on the show.
Exactly.
They would have been driven out.
They know that. You should know that they know that. You say something to Paul, you're following Matt right out the door.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because Paul wouldn't have been able to handle that, and he would have driven them out too.
Now, are these two people, these two individuals, did you ever conversate with them off the air?
The only time I had any contact with either of them was that night. I basically sent each of them just because, and I had an ulterior motive for doing this because they were still there when I left.
Right.
But I did send them each a text message basically saying, hey, that was pretty wild, huh? Or something like that.
Just want to see the reaction.
I wanted to see what they had to say because I was curious what was said after I left. Neither of them had much to say to me, and I haven't heard from either of them since, and I'm quite sure that I never will. I don't expect I'll ever hear from either of those guys again. They've made their choice. They're happy with their choice. Good for them. And it's clarifying. And by the way, the guitar player there who's there Friday nights, he's been on my show a couple times. And if he ever wants to come on my show again, he's welcome to. If I get a text from him, he says, hey, Matt, can I come on your show? I'll have him on. No problem. But at least now I'll have him on with the understanding he's not my friend. He's an acquaintance. And he's welcome on my show. I like him. He's a nice guy, but he's not my friend. I know that. And that's fine. Totally fine. But I'll never hear from him because here's the thing. For him to actually come on my show, he would have to get approval from his boss on Friday night.
Oh boy.
And that guy's not gonna go for that. So because Paul also does not like people who are on his show going on other people's shows. And that's why a certain person named Steve Light was driven out, because Steve Light was going on the morning show and Paul didn't like that. So now Steve Light goes on the morning show and has his own show on WMNH.
Hey,
but
there should be a segment that you should do one of these days, either on like a YouTube short or something. The characteristics of Crazy Joe versus Paulie C and the similarities that they have.
Oh yeah. Some similarities being the narcissism, the inability to take to accept any accountability for one's actions. It's always everyone else's fault.
Yep.
The megalomania, the treating friendship as purely transactional. Some people are only your friend for as long as you are of some use to them, as long as they can get something out of you. I apparently no longer served a purpose for that particular individual because they felt that I was no longer a net positive. I was now a net negative. I was a drag on the show. So therefore, he, in his mind, had no choice but to terminate the friendship because I was no longer of use to him in his mind.
Parks goes ahead and mentions solidarity through cowardice.
Yeah, because that's the other. Cowardice is a good word because the thing is, too, if he wanted me off the show. Oh, and I did say this to him in the email that I sent to him. If he wanted me off of the show, if he felt like I was no longer contributing to the show, all he had to do, he could have done this at any point. He could just pull me aside and say, Matt, wouldn't even have to pull me aside. He could email me. He could call me. A lousy text message would have been fine. But if he had communicated to me at any point, Matt, I'm sorry, you've been with me from the beginning. It's been a great ride, and I appreciate everything that you've done, but I just don't think it's quite working anymore. I don't think the chemistry is still there. I think I want to make a change with the show. So I want you to, I'm sorry, buddy, but I want you to step away. Fine. I would have accepted that. I would have, you know, as a professional and also on a personal level, you know, I would have appreciated him for coming to me and maturely expressing that to me. And I would have said, yeah, no problem, dude. You know, good luck.
It didn't sound like that's the way he operates. He operates obviously on instinct and just pure emotion.
Oh yeah. He fired someone once during the show. There's a guy, and I'm not gonna say who it is. But and it's not anyone you would know.
No, right.
But this individual has since returned to the show, though, incredibly enough. But there's a person who he was so annoyed with. He actually said during one of the music breaks one night, it's not working out, dude. I think you got to go. Like during the show. This was a few years ago.
Couldn't wait till after the show's done. And no, it had to be then, huh?
Had to be then.
Wow. Well, Matt, thank you very much for sharing that. I know that's it's kind of like the exclusive right here that we got, the policy meltdown on retrospective, basically the retro rejection of Matt Carnington. So
yeah, and if he sees this or anyone sees this who wants to be mad about it or hears this and wants to be mad about it, I just explained what happened. That nothing I said was an exaggeration or a lie or anything. That is the objective truth, and I've got witnesses. Of course, those witnesses are, you know,
they probably won't speak.
They won't. They'll never stick up for me, obviously, and that's fine. They're not my friends. I wouldn't expect them to, but that is what happened. That is the objective reality.
Yep. We're going to step aside here. We're well into our number dose, as you would say.
Numero dos.
Numero dos, right. We're going to take a couple of songs, about 7 minutes or so. Go ahead and hang out, get a drink. I got to go ahead and use the little boys' room, and then we'll come right back. So don't go anywhere. We'll come right back with more show.
We need a break.
Sounds good.
Be back soon. This is the Charles Richardson Show.
There's no time left to waste. Our time's short-lived with too many regrets that hold us back. So I chose to live. I'm forward, forgive me if you can't handle that. I win out who can't, and kick those who have my back. I'll say what you want. You talk shit and I don't. There's much more to me than there'll ever be in you. So draw your pretty face, but you're not fooling me. Then you're rich, 'cause you can't take that deep. You can't take that deep. Save yourself the trouble. There's no changing who you are. Who you are. Shallow depths come to what you have left. Beauty far beyond what you could see. You can't get exactly what you want. Throw a fit 'cause you can't handle it. You can't handle it. I'll say what you want. You talk shit and I don't. There's much more to me than there'll ever be in you. Draw your pretty face, but you're not fooling me. I won't spread myself too thin. I'll care enough for all of them. You can't be selfless, investing time in what they say. I never said it was easy, but it's all worth it. But it's all worth it. 'Cause it's all worth it.
A girl of 16, she's lost in her dreams, wondering, what about our lives? What about our time? I live in this mad world, no one can tell her. What about her fate? What about this joke? I will grab your gun. I need to escape. I need you tonight. I need you for life. I need you for loving me. I try to understand why we should stand. The sound of batteries, we live in misery. Shouldn't we live for love? I need you tonight. I need you for life. I need you for loving me. I try to understand. Shouldn't we join hands? Why fighting for the power? The world we're living in. No one can tell us why we should live.
Hi, we're your local high-speed internet and cable provider. Are you looking for a fast, reliable internet connection? A large selection of your favorite HD TV channels with 24/7 access to the best customer support technicians, all at a fair price? Fuck you. You'll take what we give you. You'll have the option of choosing from several of our completely unwarranted rip-offs, including internet speeds up to 200 times slower than Korea at twice the price, TV packages with over 500 channels, 90% of which you can't view, and we guarantee a plethora of hidden fees. Then, our barely trained technicians will come to install your services somewhere between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. Knock once while you're in the shower, and promptly leave. And once we do finally get your service up and running, it'll be down and limping within 3 hours. Indefinitely. Why, you ask? Simple. We are part of what is called an oligopoly. It's like a monopoly, only legal. See, in closed-door meetings with 4 or 5 of the other major providers, we've secretly agreed not to have differing prices. allowing us to completely eliminate any competition and collectively raise our prices to optimum cockbag levels. Because we here at your local high-speed internet and cable provider don't believe in customer satisfaction. We believe in money. Pools of money. Looking for a better deal? You can all gobble down our balls. You're paying for it. Your local high-speed internet and cable provider. You won't like it, and there's no other option.
We're back to the best show you have never heard of. That's the Charles Richardson Show.
Yeah, we're back. Hour number 2 is well underway here on the Charles Richardson Show. Audio issues have hampered us, although not on Facebook and YouTube, but I think for everybody else. I was just checking because I'm looking at Sam, and I have like no levels. I'm thinking I can hear myself fine on the mixer and on YouTube and everything else. I'm over here checking IPM Nation, no sound. Dare Media, no sound. Like, what the hell? I don't know what happened. Something changed in the settings. I don't know what happened, but we're back. We do have sound now. You know what that means? We need to bring Bad Billy in and do the whole segment all over again. No, fuck that. Oh, but anyway, Dare Media Group, IPM Nation, IRN Broadcast, and of course the Up Yours Network over on the UK. All sponsored here at the Charles Richardson Show by W Energy Drink, W.GG. Enter the code Richardson Show for 10% off your complete order at checkout, W.GG. All right. The only other thing that we have going on here that I wanted to bring up here before we get into the regular show is some WWE. Isaac Banks, of course, Mr. Ike Breezy. He did send a video here, so I will get to that video here shortly. I promised him last week that I would do that. And just for everybody, the call-in number still remains 813-699-5595. But the WWE notes I wanted to get to because we got SummerSlam coming up, and that's in a couple of weeks. And from all the reports in the media saying that SummerSlam tickets aren't selling, prices are so high, blah, blah, blah. I went on Ticketmaster before the show, and I want to see how real this is. I went into Ticketmaster just before the show, and I looked up, and about 80% of the show is sold out.
I have a question about that, Charles. So is it that 80%, is it literally that 80% of the show is sold out, or is it that 80% of the tickets that they put on sale thus far are sold out?
Yes. The on sale ones. So obviously they're still reselling them. Those the resale sets, but Ticketmaster, not the verified sources, like the verified resale.
Right.
The ones that have sold for the retail through Ticketmaster that's 80%.
But what I'm saying though is there's probably more sections further back that they haven't even put on sale yet because they've got to sell those lower sections first, or the building's going to look really weird if it's not full. But you've got people kind of scattered in sections throughout the building. You know what I mean?
They got all the way to the upper deck.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
On sale? Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, all the whole stadium's up for sale.
Okay.
Or at least the ones that's not blocked off by the entryway and the gorilla.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they're saying like only 22,000 tickets are sold. No, it's way more than that. It's not sold out.
Right.
And also I do see tickets there for like $40-$50.
Yeah.
So they do exist.
Right.
Are they anywhere close to the ring? No. Do you need to bring your own oxygen tank? Yes. But I'm just saying, it's like, those tickets that they're saying, oh, even the nosebleeds are like $3,000. No. I see $50, $60 tickets, $80 tickets. Now, when you get down to the floor, yeah, you're looking at $4 or $5 grand, $6 grand, which actually I find cheap considering the type of event that's going on. I think WrestleMania, minimum on floor was 10.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It was bad at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So, the one thing I did want to go ahead and just say, it's like the SummerSlam is selling pretty good. It's decent. It's halfway. It's going to happen. And when you got Lesnar coming in, and presumably this is a retirement match, even though nothing's been announced.
Right. Well, they can't. Well, they can't really announce it because of in terms of storyline, it would look weird if you even do announce it, and then but he already did a fake retirement anyway. So, but yeah, I mean, it is in his home state of Minnesota, so it makes sense. I mean, it's fairly predictable. Obviously, Obafemi goes over, and this is it for Lesnar. It makes sense.
This is what we think is going to happen. Now, if they haven't done anything in regards to retirement or even hinting at retirement, I mean, it's the writing's on the wall, though.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any possibility Lesnar does go over?
No, I don't see why. I don't see how. No, it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense.
This is like, this is the three game series. Mm-hmm. They split one. Now this is the the third one, and this should be the decider.
Right. There's no reason to put Lesnar over, and Obafemi is he's the future. Lesnar's the past. I mean, this is it.
Do we see any interference coming in this one? Because I'm over here thinking, Heyman has kind of shunned away the Vision. Do we see the Vision kind of making life difficult for Brock? But then again, that would open up another storyline.
I think no. I think what happens is I think it's a relatively short match. I think Obafemi goes over, and this will be Lesnar's official retirement. Again, it is in his home state, and I think at the end of the match, Lesnar actually shows respect. Kind of a little mini face turn right at the end. Lesnar shakes Obafemi's hand and says, "That's it. I'm out of here. I'm done." And then that's it. That's what I think.
He seemed pretty convincing when crying and hugging Paul Heyman in the middle of that ring, taking off his shoes, his gloves, his elbow pads, and all of those stuff, leaving it in the ring. That seemed pretty convincing.
Right. It did.
I don't know if we're gonna, if people are gonna say, yeah, he ain't retiring. He ain't retiring.
Well, even if they do, so what? There's nothing wrong with keeping people guessing.
Yeah,
keeping people speculating about it. That's actually a good thing, in a sense. But no, I'm quite sure this is going to be it. I'm quite sure. I mean, what else could it be? What else would make sense? There really is nothing. And it's predictable, but that's okay. Sometimes it's okay when wrestling's predictable. I mean, when I first started watching when I was a kid, I knew Hogan was going to beat Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3. It was obvious.
Oh yeah.
But it was still fun to see, It's still even when the outcome is when you can pretty well see what the outcome is going to be, it's still fun to see how they get there,
Yeah, I mean, the storyline of what's going to take place, but it's kind of like how does it happen? Like when I go ahead and watch this reality show, Big Brother, and Alyssa can attest to this. I go ahead and I kind of read ahead, especially if it's been pre-recorded, like what happens, who gets kicked off, and stuff like that.
Yeah, you drive me crazy with it.
And I know who gets kicked off. I know who gets kicked off. I still want to know what happens.
I'm kind of like that too. Well, that's why I don't mind spoilers. Like Jenny, she hates spoilers. She does everything that she can. She does everything she can to avoid spoilers, which in the social media age that we live in is very, very difficult. I don't mind so much, partly because maybe I just don't have the discipline to hold off in terms of waiting to see what happens. And again, I'm not talking about Big Brother. I've never watched the show. I'm talking about wrestling. But so I like to know what happened. But it's still fun to see how they get there. So I never mind.
Going down the card really quick. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it. Liv and EO. This obviously is for the Women's World Champion. This is EO's. They're doing a double header on this one because EO beat Liv for the Queen of the Ring. Now she wants to go ahead and go up against Liv again. I see EO coming away with it finally and beating Liv. Do you see any possibility of Liv keeping the title with the Judgment Day?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't really have a prediction for that one. I'm big fans of both of them. I think they're both incredible. But I don't know. Could be Judgment Day interference. Could be EO goes over. I don't know. That's a hard one to predict. I could see them going either way with it.
I mean, there is a couple of women that's in the Judgment Day. You got Raquel and you got Roxanne. So those two could come through with some type of interference. But I think EO's got some allies too.
Right. Maybe Rhea Ripley shows up.
Yeah, she's
And
injured.
helps EO.
She's actually legitimately injured, so that's why they're
true.
That may not happen, but hopefully EO does the right thing. But you're right. I do see that it's a possibility Liv does keep it. Penta going up against Chad Gable. I don't see Chad Gable winning this. I mean, I know there's this whole hype that he's going to, but I can't see him beating Penta.
I don't know. Maybe this is another one. I could see it going either way. Gable's getting a big push. By the way, I despise his new entrance music. I don't know why they didn't just give him back the Alpha Academy music. His current entrance, Billy Painter was on with us earlier with his Suno songs. Like Gable's new entrance music sounds like totally like AI, and it's so bad.
It is. It's not great. I see because how everything's going right now with the Vision and Alpha Academy, especially with Maxine joining. I just see Chad because the two guys, Tozawa. Yeah, I think Chad's going to join back with them. I think this is just kind of like just to get him,
and they'll feud with the Vision. That makes total sense. And Chad doesn't need the belt to do that.
I don't think he does.
And obviously, they're huge on Penta, as they should be. I mean, Penta gets incredible reactions.
Yeah, he's great. He really is.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We will talk about this briefly. The triple threat here with the anti-bloodline versus the bloodline. You got Knight, Sikoa, and Royce going up against the actual bloodline, Fatu and the two Usos. I don't see how these three can coexist. I think LA Knight's ego is too big for that. Solo's not going to allow it, or hell, even the Ultimate Solo actually is duking both Royce and LA Knight, and actually joins the bloodline again.
That very well may be what happens. It might be a setup. Yeah, that would make sense to me. You know what's intriguing to me though about this whole storyline is it's kind of an example of. I see a lot of people online complaining because they're like, well, who are the baby faces? Who are the heels in this? It doesn't make, none of it makes sense. It's like, no, I mean, I think technically they're all baby faces at this point, but it's like, wrestling has evolved in a way where, you have complex characters who, you've got baby faces fighting each other. You've got heels fighting each other. You still have for the most part, clearly defined baby faces and heels, but it's evolved to a point now where they can actually fight with each other, even though, because, when I started watching when I was a kid, it was like, if you had a heel who suddenly turned babyface, all of a sudden that babyface, that newly minted babyface, was best friends with all the baby faces and enemies with all the heels. It was very sort of hyper simplistic. It's a lot more sophisticated in that way now. And I kind of like that, not sure who to cheer for, but that's fine. I think it's cool. I like it. It's interesting.
The one thing in that scenario, if Solo is playing these two guys, how does Fatu and Sikoa coexist? I just don't see how two enforcers can coexist unless Fatu swaps.
Oh, but Fatu already doesn't quite fit comfortably in the bloodline, right? Because he's always at odds with Jay and everything. So maybe they continue to play on that. Yeah, because it's always good to have some tension within the bloodline. I think that's why that storyline has been able to last for as many years as it has, because there's always some sort of tension there. And
always some feud in the family. Just need Steve Harvey to go ahead and settle it.
Yeah.
The Gunther has finally made a match with Nick Aldis, so Mangus is coming back. Or Nick, I'm not sure if he's going to use that or if he's going to use.
I assume he'll still be Nick Aldis.
I wasn't sure if he was going to come back as his character.
No, I don't know what the point would be.
I don't know what the point of this match is going to be. Gunther just blows him up. I just don't see anywhere around that.
Probably. But I mean, it's cool. I had wondered, I'd wondered for a while, because Nick Aldis isn't even that old. So he's probably got plenty of gas left in the tank. I know that he had a pretty severe back injury, which I think is why he stopped wrestling, if I'm not mistaken, but apparently he's in good enough shape to do this, but he's still young. I mean, he's not even 40 yet. Right. So,
that's actually a good question. I don't even know how old he is.
I think he's late 30s. And, we live in a time where like 40 in wrestling
39. Yeah.
Yeah, 40 is considered like prime years now,
Yeah, right.
which is
Nowadays,
another
yeah.
thing that's different from when I was a kid. When I was a kid, 40 was, they're looking a little long in the tooth. But these days, all the top stars are 40 plus. So Aldis is still a baby at
Mhm.
39.
We got Danhausen and Dominic, and I, of course, Danhausen's going to come in with his funny stuff, and I love it. Listen, I never thought I'd say this. I love fucking Danhausen.
Oh yeah,
he's awesome.
Jenny loves him too. I like him a lot. The thing is, and I've said this on Tough Bumps, I worry about him getting overexposed.
But he's been able to kind of master it so much.
He has.
Just with, number one, this whole Knicks phenomenon.
Yep.
That just came with it.
Yep.
That's given him another life, another type of thing. So it's like this whole transformation chamber, like Steve Urkel thing going on here.
Yeah.
He's got that going on. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff, a lot of backstage stuff going on that. And presumably one of the big guys, unless that was the big guy, the cat, one of the big guys is supposed to be Big Cass.
Oh yeah,
that's laying down underneath the sheet.
Big Cass. Oh.
That's what that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt they're going to bring him back that way.
Yeah,
but maybe.
We got that. We did that. Roman and Seth. Hey, let's get down to the two big matches. Roman and Seth. It's already been approached by Solo. Hey, I'll protect you. I know what the Bloodline's going to do. Blah blah blah. So not only is Solo fighting the Bloodline on one match,
yeah,
he's also wanting to protect Seth.
Yeah, now that you bring that up, and I hadn't thought about it, now that you bring that up, I'm liking your theory even more about what's going to happen. He's going to turn and rejoin the Bloodline, and he's going to screw over. He's going to screw over LA Knight and Power. What do we call him now? Royce Keys, and he's going to screw over Seth. And yes, and Solo becomes a bigger star than he's ever been because of all of it too. I think I think that's where this is going.
You think so?
I do.
It all depends on when these matches take place, night one, night two, and what pattern.
Yeah, true.
Because obviously, Roman and Seth are probably at the end of one of the nights. If Solo turns on LA, well, Seth already knows that it's going to be like 5 against 1.
Right. That's true.
But yeah, I see Roman keeping it, and then I'm really hoping CM Punk keeps it over Cody. I don't need Cody again being champion. It's like why bother losing the belt to CM Punk only or losing the belt first off and just winning it back 2 weeks later.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't like it when they hot shot the title. I liked when Sami Zayn won in Saudi. I thought that was cool. But then for him to almost immediately drop to CM Punk, it's like, okay, we're hot shotting the title. And I never liked, that was a big thing in the 90s, and I never liked it.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I want to see CM Punk keep it. And a Cody heel turn would be fun.
Yeah, I guess we're kind of waiting for that, aren't we?
I feel like everyone's waiting for it. Yeah. Everyone wants it.
All right. Well, there we go. That is it for the matches, at least for now. We still got a couple of weeks before SummerSlam. And I will be on your show toward the end of your show.
Yes.
On August 1st. So make sure you tune in to Matt Connerton Unleashed on Saturday, August 1st. A little bit after 11:30, we'll be discussing the final card quickly because we don't have a lot of time to talk about it, but we'll be discussing it.
Yes.
Isaac is going ahead and saying hi to Alyssa. Alyssa's been quiet because we've been kind of talking about stuff that Alyssa's not really too high into. Parks goes ahead and says Charlotte, North Carolina, home of WCW when I was a kid and NASCAR, referencing Isaac Banks from being everybody's from North Carolina there, the Isaac Banks family. Jake says the Knicks match looks good. Nick Aldis.
Yeah. I'm curious.
I am curious to see how he performs in the ring. I mean, I'm sure he's been working out and he's been in the performance center and all that stuff. So
it looks like he's in shape.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's those Brits stay in shape pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, let me get over to. I wanted to get to Isaac's video. He sent me the video. I promised him I'd play it.
Okay.
I just got to get to it.
The great Eichmann Breezy.
Eichmann Breezy, yeah.
Eichmann Breezy, yes.
So
they sing and dance.
Well, they do everything.
They do everything.
Yeah, they do everything together.
They still show up in my chat room on Saturday mornings.
Well, I would hope so. I mean, come on now. They need you.
They do. They do.
Why am I not seeing it? Oh, that's why. Duh.
They show up in the Tough Bumps chat sometimes, and yeah.
They're in the Tough Bump. What are they? Are they really still chatting about being a quartet? And
yes,
and not talking.
Always
playing.
They sing and dance. You know.
Hang on a minute, Isaac. I promised I was going to get to you, and for some reason, the Meta Business Suite is not doing what I needed to do.
I hate Meta Business Suite. I hate it so much.
It is
God,
terrible.
Does anyone like it? It's awful.
It is awful.
It's the most unintuitive, unuser-friendly thing ever.
It is crap. All right, here we go. Is this it? I don't know. Yeah, YouTube. This has got to be it. All right, I'm going to share. I think this is it. This sounds like something I played before.
Oh.
But we will find out. Let's get over here. I know. I think this is something that. Here we go.
Sounds like Motorhead.
Yeah, right. You're not gonna let me hold that down, are you?
Nope.
Answers to find a way. All of a sudden, like waves on the beach, lovers come crashing down. The truth has been lost and found. Don't say it's love, baby, 'cause you want to be what you want to be. Don't say it's love, no, baby. If our friendship is to survive, don't say it's love. We shared so many secrets.
Friend zone.
I kiss and tell. You made one move to love me, and it's farewell. Find someone waiting for you, loving woman I could. I've been understood. Don't say it's love, baby, 'cause you want to be what you want to be. Don't say it's love, no, baby. If our friendship is to survive, don't say it's love. Don't be a fool. You'll be alone in your illusion. Love is an illusion. Then let it go. Oh, no.
I do have to say one thing. He's just now dancing. Oh,
he sings and dances.
Ooh, there's a little spin going on. He's got that hand right there in that area where Michael Jackson holds his.
I never counted on you this way, yeah. I was trusting faith. We're not too late. Don't say it's love, baby, 'cause you want to be what you want to be. Don't say it's love, no, baby. If our friendship is to survive, don't say it's love. All you do is say it's love. You want to be, don't say it's love.
I think you missed a few words there. It's all good, though. It's all good.
To survive, don't say it's love.
You know, it's all in the effort. And he does a good job with the effort. There you go. Eichmann Breezy with his latest of taking it to the town. And of course, you can see more of him somewhere in North Carolina.
Yep.
Saying, listen, he does a good job. He does some good videos, and by all means, I know he's probably getting a ton of views, probably a lot more views than I ever do. So,
my favorite kind of video has always been the kind of video that you watch it and you go, "The hell's going on here?"
Yeah,
that's what I like.
Yeah, some of those are good. Most of them are good.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit! It's almost time to quit. Hey, Alyssa, how you doing over there?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing good. I think you're on the wrong mic. I'm just saying I can actually hear myself.
I am? Okay.
I think so.
Sounds good.
Yeah, she does sound good, but I'm also hearing myself.
It says it's the USB microphone.
It does? Oh, okay.
Mhm.
All right. So maybe it's just me. Maybe I gotta shut the fuck up a little bit. Just keep it quiet. Keep it quiet. Keep it quiet. Yeah, you know what? We really can't even get to anymore. I mean, we only got like 6 minutes left to go, and I need to make sure I'm out on time this time. Can't be late, can't be over. Got affiliates to worry about. Like, can't do it like I used to, where I just go as long as I want, as short as I want, and everything. If there was anything to do, there was this one big topic that I did have, which is there's a social media ban over in France where they are banning kids under 15. I think we have something similar over here. I think it's like 14 or 13 and under that Facebook or Meta is not allowing. I kind of want to know what your thoughts are for that, because it's like more censorship, but I think it's also to protect the kids because they're sneaking around, trying to go ahead and meet people they're not supposed to meet, and God forbid what the hell happens. Once they do meet this person that says they're 15, 16, and it turns out to be some creepy 40-year-old guy with a van. But also, they try to go ahead and limit it. They're going to try sneaking around it anyway. So what are your thoughts? What do you think of all this?
I think you got to leave that to parents. I don't think there's a practical way for these platforms to really manage that. But, God bless them for trying. The intention is good. I'm just skeptical.
Well, the thing is, if kids want to be on it, they're going to find a way around all of this anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, parents should be keeping an eye on what their kids are doing. If they've got a device, keep an eye on what they're doing on it. There's ways to restrict all of that and completely block it out.
Yeah, I mean, there is parental controls on it, especially with some of these cell phones that are coming out where, the parents have full access, like these teen phones. I forget the name of the company that does one of them, but it's
There's
like,
several different ones.
Yeah, they have the parental controls where you can block X, Y, and Z out from it. The only thing is these kids are so damn smart now. Like they're learning to decode things at 9 years old and 10 years old, and it's like, oh, what does this button do? And all of a sudden, boom, they have access. So it's like,
yeah,
and they like to trick the parents. We have one kid that does that too.
Oh yeah.
Isaac wants to ask you, Alyssa, what did you think of the video?
I thought it was good.
What'd you say?
I said I thought it was good.
All right. Park says, be honest with you. I thought her camera was frozen until you asked her a question.
Sorry, camel was frozen. It doesn't get that cold down in Florida. It's pretty warm there.
Not the camel. The camera. I know what they.
Oh, I thought you had camels because it's a warm climate.
There was not a toe after it.
Well, I didn't. Well, I wasn't. Jeez, I wasn't taking it there. My goodness. I'm not a deviant. How dare you?
Park says there's these kids that have a workaround of any kind of lockout. So
Oh yeah.
I mean, listen, all well and good for trying, or at least trying to keep them safe, but it's just, I think it's just unfortunate that it has to come to that, because it's not going to work. It really isn't. They're still going to find ways around it. It's kind of like teen pregnancy. It's not going to work. You're not going to prevent it. The only thing you can do is just educate as best you can, and I think that's what it is. You have to educate.
Well, and in states where they actually do that, where they do the education, where they have sex ed classes and so forth, they have lower rates of teen pregnancy than in states where they don't do that.
And the states that don't do it are people that's like, oh my God, I don't want you teaching my kids. Well, you teach your fucking kids then.
Right. And then
Nobody's
they
gonna
don't
teach them.
Yeah.
My God. I mean, when I remember when I was in sex ed class, they had this big machine that took a clear little piece of paper and it propped up an image on the wall, and it was a big image of a scrotum. Like, come on, that nobody balked at that back then. I saw a penis, flaccid, of course, hung down, 2 testes. They call them testes, and it's like, this is what's going to keep. You need to take that. You need to take that.
Mhm.
Take control of that.
Yes.
I can't say anything because our teacher that taught sex ed was sleeping with students. So,
Oh
my God.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
No, that's not good.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it. Matt, why don't you go ahead? I want you to go ahead and plug your stuff. Everything you got, go ahead before
Sure.
we end the show.
To keep up with everything that I'm up to, you can go to mattconnerton.com, mattconnarton.com for my show, Matt Connerton Unleashed. And of course, if you'd like to book a hypnotherapy session and all the other myriad of things that I'm doing, mattconnerton.com.
All right. And of course, make sure you like and share us on Facebook and YouTube. And of course, our affiliates, we want to thank again IPM Nation, IRN Network, IRN Broadcast, the Up Yours Network in the UK, and of course, Dare Media, Dare Talk Radio over in Australia. That's going to do it. Thank you, Matt. Thank you for Bad Billy for being on as well. And listen, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Have a great hump day or hump night, or in Australia, have a great Thursday morning. Take care, everybody.
Bye.